Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing another cheesy short movie from the Sci-Fi Channel. Well, like I said, the week of doing this video is Shark Week on the Sci-Fi Channel. Well, the week before was Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, and because the Sci-Fi Channel didn't want to compete with that, so they made their own Shark Week with cheesy TV movies with computer-generated sharks attacking people. And of course, they did that before Sharknado, and now since Sharknado became a big phenomenal hit, and of course, Shark Week will end with the fifth Sharknado 5, which will air this coming Sunday. Well, now we're going to have, for this video, I'm going to be doing another shark movie, and that is called Mississippi Sharks. I'm trying to say Mississippi River Sharks. That's the name of the movie. And this one is Sharknado on the Mississippi. Pretty much what it is, without the Sharknadoes in it. This movie, of course, stars actually two pretty big television stars, at least from the 90s and early 2000s. One was Jeremy London, who starred on the WB show Seventh Heaven, and played the assistant pastor on that series, for a while. And then he had his own personal problems, and he was fired from the show. The other one was Casey Steele, who was a hottie from the Canadian television show Degrassi: The Next Generation. So you see two big two television stars in this film. Of course, this movie is like I said earlier, Sharknado on the Mississippi River. It's kind of like what happened with the first Die Hard movie. The first Die Hard movie was such a big, huge success that there was a whole bunch of movies that kind of like ripped off that premise with Speed was Die Hard on a bus, or On the Sea, Die Hard on a Navy ship, or Cliffhanger, Die Hard on a cliff, or you had Passenger 57, Die Hard on an airplane. I mean, you had so many of these rip-offs. I guess that's what the Sci-Fi Channel is doing now, is capitalizing on the Sharknado premise, putting average shark experts, or at least marine biologists anyway, in these crazy situations where sharks are attacking and eating people. And that's what this movie is. Well, Mississippi River Sharks is basically a story where the original premise is that it has this big fishing competition in a small town along the Mississippi River, and it wasn't in New Orleans, way further up the Mississippi. And of course, sharks, for some reason, came in from the Gulf, goes up the river, and starts eating people. It's basically what the story is. Kind of like I said earlier, is Sharknado on the Mississippi River without the actual tornadoes in it, and it's basically almost a similar plot to it. Like I said, the only thing they do like about is that Jeremy London's character is supposed to be playing kind of like an Ian Ziering character, who played a whole bunch of these shark movies, and except for and we kind of make fun of the shark movie series, or the Sharknado movie series in this one a little bit, without mentioning the word Sharknado. And he says it was also kind of like with the Halloween movies. For the third movie, the Jeremy London character in that Sharks movie series did not appear in it. But he said, "Oh, I don't recollect the third one because it was not in it." He made that line a few times in this thing. And then, of course, eventually, the so-called shark expert in these movies gets eaten by a shark, which was, yay, because it would be funny if he ends up getting eaten by a shark in this thing. And he did. Of course, Casey Steele and her dad she's home from school for college, and she wanted to changed her major from marine biology, being a scientist, to something else, to business, so she can run her dad's shop when her father's not around anymore. So her father's trying to talk her out of it. And said, "No, you're nuts. You should go back to doing it. You're a scientist, not a business person." And said, "Yeah, but Dad, I run the shop." Well, all that stuff was going on. You had these attacks from these sharks, and of course, and knowing that, but the guy who was the promoter of the shark thing says. So Casey Steele trying to convince this guy. He was like, it's kind of like a Colonel Sanders type. Says, "Please, you have to cancel this thing. You're going to cause all these people getting killed by these sharks if you don't cancel it." He says, "I don't give a shit. I put so much money into this thing. I'm not going to cancel enough. I'm not going to cancel a damn thing." And of course, guess who ends up getting killed by the sharks? He did. Knowing that he did, but there was this one asshole who was on the thing. Knowing was the guy who was the sponsor for the thing, an asshole. You have another asshole who wins the event every single year, and not only that, but he like rigs the fish so you can make them heavier. You weigh them down, put like weights in the fish so you can make them heavier and win every year so you get the trophy. So he actually steals the trophy and says, "Oh, come on, no one's gonna beat me." And me and him, the guy who wins all the time, the competition all the time, plus the sponsor was like fighting over the first place trophy, and both of them ended up getting eaten by the sharks, which was great. And then of course he had the annoying reporter who was hanging around Casey's father, and that thing going on, and her cameraman gets eaten by a shark, and you have all this. Like I said, folks, it's like Sharknado on the Mississippi, pretty much. Without the Sharknadoes in it. I think that's what the Sci-Fi Channel is doing now. Is making movies, based on almost the same concept as Sharknado, but in different situations. As a matter of fact, on the day during this video, the Sci-Fi Channel tonight is showing Trailer Park Shark Attacks, or whatever. Trailer Park Sharks. And maybe you watch that, and maybe do a review on that one next. But they're doing a shark theme this whole week. But this is really getting really silly and really over the top stuff. I mean, it's like, I just wish that the Sci-Fi Channel seriously go back the way it was when the Sci-Fi Channel first formed back in the early 90s. Because the Sci-Fi Channel has been around for like about at least 25 years. 24 or 25 years, something like that. I wish to go back to the old format when they used to show science fiction shows, or that type of thing. Battlestar Galactica, or the original Battlestar Galactica, the Incredible Hulk, or Buck Rogers, or Star Trek, or the original Star Trek series, or all of them really. And I wish to go back to that type of format. Or in October they show all these scary movies. Or the classic Universal horror films. I wish to go back to doing that in October, or instead of the 13 days of Halloween stuff they've been doing. I wish to go back to doing what the hell is this thing? Oh, it's a reflection from the lights. I just wish to go back to that type of format instead of doing these cheesy movies all the time. I mean, seriously, who sits there and watch all these short, cheesy movies? Well, I'm doing it just for my YouTube channel so I can do these reviews. But we're gonna run out of topics, so I figured do these movies because they're fun to watch and fun to review. But I wish to go back to doing, that the old shows doing is really the Twilight Zone on the Sci-Fi Channel. Anyway, the original Twilight Zone they were showing. But any other science fiction show, they said forget, they're not doing it. Which, to me it stinks. And I wish to go back to the old format. But I know I'm going on a tangent here. But I wish that they come up with better ideas than doing these cheesy Sharknado ripoffs. I mean, because the Sharknado was an unexpected hit for the Sci-Fi Channel. No, because it got, before it even aired, the first movie aired back in 2013. It was panned by everybody. Everybody who reviews movies, these cheesy TV movies, they all gave it a crappy review, like one store or 1.5 stores, if that. And then for some, it became such a huge hit, especially a huge hit online. It got huge ratings, and now all of a sudden doing other, short-named ripoffs like Mississippi River Sharks or Timber Werewolf. I'm talking about werewolf, not werewolf. Half whale, half wolf versus half shark, half octopus. I mean, those types of silly movies. They're all kind of cheesy, kind of like almost like B movies, almost in the 1950s, but with more of a CGI effect for the sharks. But they're all getting cheesy. To me, they're all pretty much getting look the same, and kind of ruins the anticipation for the next Sharknado movie. So let me review of Mississippi River Sharks. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com, that's OWDY.com. There's a homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website as well. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.